Polygon to the moon. That's exactly what we've been seeing, right? With the Polygon Matic token, the way its market capitalization has been going up. Joining us is the co-founder of Polygon, Sandeep. We're also being joined by one of the best crypto analysts out there. He's with Bernstein, Gautam Chuggani. I've been trying to get him on the channel for fintech. He's refused, but at least he's agreed to come today to talk about cryptos. So thanks a lot for that, Gautam. Sandeep, I'll come to you first. I began by saying Polygon to the moon. What do you make of the way the price has been going up?
To be honest, we don't really look at the price on day-to-day basis. We just keep our heads down and keep working what we are doing, keep working on what we are doing. We are trying to build the Web3 infrastructure for this new Web3 world, and that's where we are focused on. Price is not our consideration. Markets will figure it out.
Wow. So tell us, you say you don't check it every day. How often do you check the price?
Probably, once or twice a week. Or somebody, these days, generally people tell me that, okay, this is happening. I say, okay, good for you.
Gautam, how often do you check Polygon's price?
Oh, I check it every hour. But more than that, I think Sandeep and JD and all his team members have done a fabulous job. They started in the bear market of 2017, where no one wanted to pay attention to crypto. I remember seeing them in a blockchain conference way back then, where they were kind of sitting in a corner trying to gain the attention of some investors. But they've come a very, very long way. I think they've become, if there was one example of anyone building from India for global scale and has achieved global prominence, it's clearly Polygon. So, and they used to be called, the token is still called Matic, but it's been a fabulous journey. I think the brand, the platform, and the marketing engine and the execution engine that they've built is unparalleled. And the price that you see is nothing but an outcome of that. So whether we see the price every day or not, it all speaks to their execution.
And in Jeff Bezos' word also, whatever you are seeing in the price, we had already baked in probably 3 to 4 months ago. What I am working on is what happens in the next 3 months, right? So
correct.
That are priced in or are going to be taking place that they're already aware of. But Sandeep, tell me something. So when I look at the price, do you think it's already factoring in a large fundraise? I know we at ET Now broke the story and Polygon Matic didn't want to talk about it. But can you tell us, are you in the market to raise funds?
What the price is factoring in, there are multiple things actually that are being worked upon at Polygon, and then some of these things which are being discussed are very few of what overall we are doing, right? So there are multiple such big things are coming in, and about the fundraise and all that, I am not in a situation to kind of right now comment on it.
A journalist's job is to ask, so that's exactly what I did. But Sandeep, the other thing I want to ask you, and recently we saw Polygon being in the news for an M&A activity, right? It's a large one, $400 million, where we're hearing about Polygon buying out Mir, a zero-knowledge technology developer. Tell us more about this. First, explain to our viewers what this acquisition is about, or yes, zero-knowledge technology hoti kya hai?
Basically, what Polygon is trying to do is to scale blockchains, right? Scale blockchain on layer 2. So think of it you have your bank, and on top of it, you have Paytm, right? So you deposit your money from bank to your Paytm, and then, do transfers and pay for your bills or whatnot, do tons of stuff with that, right? Similarly, what Polygon is trying to build is basically these, second level blockchain on top of, let's say, the base blockchain, which is Ethereum, which is the most famous and most prominent blockchain globally. These are all different, what you see with Mir protocol or Hermes or, some of these teams that have joined Polygon in the past few months is basically these are all different flavors of this Paytm. Like think of it like one is a Paytm, one is a free charge, one is a, phone pay and all that. These are different flavors of this secondary layer of solutions which Polygon is building. And Polygon's main purpose is to provide users multiple of such platforms, and the users means the developers can choose where their applications can be built. So Mir protocol is on the zero knowledge technology. We believe that this secondary layer blockchain that we are building, zero knowledge cryptography, is key to building these trustless and highly decentralized layer 2 blockchains. And that's why Mir protocol is very important, because ZK, zero knowledge technology, is still very early stage. And what Mir protocol has been able to invent in the last 1.5 years of their work is the most efficient and the fastest zero knowledge proving, zero knowledge cryptography proving machines, which is going to be a game changer in this space.
So Nayantara, I had a question for Sandeep. So Sandeep, you have obviously one of very successful proof of stake scaling chains that you've built, where you've seen a lot of adoption, and today has more addresses than even Ethereum. Now, how will all of these things work together? So your Hermes acquisition, your acquisition with Mir protocol, will these work in parallel? Like all the ZKRs will work in parallel with the POS, or the POS will migrate onto the ZKRs? How do you see all of this kind of playing out?
So basically, how we see the future is that probably in 1 year from now, no user will have to use, or not 1 year, like maybe 1.5 years or 2 years, no user will have to directly interact with Ethereum main chain. Ethereum main chain will become a chain of chains, basically, where chains settle their, daily balances, or whatever you can think.
B2B. I mean, you mean to say like Ethereum will become B2B.
Yeah, it will become chain to chain, right? So Ethereum will become C2C instead of, C to U. So basically, then when that happens, we believe that this will be a multi-chain ecosystem where multiple of these chains will be settling into Ethereum, and each of these chains, like Polygon POS chain, has its certain trade-offs but certain benefits also. With those trade-offs come some benefits. With a pure ZK rollup, there will be some benefits, that it will be more secure by Ethereum, but it will be slightly costlier, right? So all of these trade-offs, the applications, the Polygon's purpose is give the developers all of these choices and let them choose which is the best solution. And let's say in future we see that, okay, everybody is choosing ZK Validiums, for example. Then, one of the plan is that this proof of stake chain can also be converted into, if the community agrees, of course, into a zero knowledge, roll-up or Validium.
The other thing I want to ask both of you, because it's a time-bound interview, and that is that this is a year where we saw, if you can call it that, the explosion of NFTs. The other trend that if you see globally, which is picking up and maybe yet to pick up in India, I'm not sure, at least on mainstream, is play to earn. Would love to get you both on it, and let's begin with you, Sandeep. Play to earn, is it picking up in India? Even in the US, for example, if you talk about online poker now with play to earn, all the states, you can't do it. The United States is still trying to figure it out as well.
It's absolutely going to be massive, Nayantara, the play to earn. So basically, see, the play to earn thesis is that, somebody on the Twitter also mentioned that financialization of X is a model. Like, previously we had Uber for X. Everybody was, kind of aggregating their startup models, like where you have cars, okay, make a car or a combination or aggregator of cars, or you have any other services. The aggregation model was basically picking up. Similarly with blockchains, because you now have this internet of value, so blockchains are essentially enabling this financialization of X. So today you are seeing these games, financialization of fun. It's kind of like, you can say, in some form. So, you can have fun playing these games and earn money. Now, earning money, this money is not like very big money. So the play to earn thesis is primarily applicable to there are 3-4 geographies where it is prominently applicable. One is Southeast Asia, one is India, one is Africa and LATAM. These 4 are the primary geographies where the play to earn, where you can play and make like $50, $100 a month, which might not be that lucrative, let's say in the US. So India, if you go by the population, India would capture, let's say, 30 to 40% of that population. India subcontinent, I'm saying overall. So it's going to be absolutely massive in India, and we are kind of helping some of these guilds bootstrap in India, and you will soon see like IndiGG, which is basically the YGG of India, becoming very big in India, and Indian guilds basically taking over the world gaming guilds. Because especially one of the important things, like I mentioned about these 4 geographies, one of the important things is because of Geo, today we have internet in every nook and corner of India at very high speed, which is not possible even in US. And also our smartphone penetration is also pretty high. So due to that, in my personal opinion, play to earn is going to be absolutely big in India.
Gautam, come in here. Sandeep making a case over there that maybe we even have better connectivity and speeds that you're getting in the United States. But having said that, this whole thing about mana, Decentraland, how do you see this? Is this going to be one of the big themes in the new year?
Yeah, so I'm very bullish on the whole metaverse idea, but except that I don't believe that the centralized big tech platforms are going to own this. I think crypto is designed for the metaverse. So as more and more people kind of buy into this ownership economy through ownership of NFTs, you will see people owning all sorts of weird digital assets. This could be land, this could be vehicles, this could be apartments. It could be any virtual design or virtual asset that people find value. Now, the question is, where does value come from? I think value comes from the fact that this is where the gamification and financialization comes from. The fact that we have this internet of value, we are able to connect the NFT world with the tokenized world and this play to earn economy. And that's where the value of these digital assets comes from, or where the kind of the metaverse assets comes from. So when you see people buying digital lands, it looks a bit weird today, but when value comes in those, I think you will see a very, very large virtual economy. And I think very, very over the next couple of years.
As we do this year-end special, I'm not going to focus too much on the crypto bill because I think enough has been said, enough has been speculated. Let it be tabled and we'll see what happens in Parliament. But till then, Sandeep, what I would love to get your views on, you told me about play and earn. You talked to us about how Ethereum is evolving and how we'll have chains on chains and things like that. But just picking up the point that Gautam spoke about, going into the new year, you can buy fractionalized land. In the metaverse, you can find your own house in the real world and actually name it and tag it as something else in the metaverse. Are these the kind of themes that are going to play up in 2022?
Yes, absolutely. And this is already very big. And, recently this product called Earth 2, basically, which maps the entire Earth on a metaverse. They are also launching now on Polygon, and they have the entire cities mapped, like exact buildings, exact everything. Maybe now they are talking to maybe banks to have their branches into that metaverse and all that. And on a larger scale, if you see how we are spending more and more time on internet using these devices, like Elon Musk said that we are already a cyborg. Right, like because we already spend 50% of our time, waking up time on our phone and things like that. So we are already a cyborg, and then our next generation with these VR devices becoming better and better. Probably they will fit within a lens or our spectacles and all that. So you can assume that we are going to spend 70% of our time in these virtual worlds. And when we spend that time in these virtual worlds, the value of things in this virtual world will also increase. Right now, we spend more amount in the real world, so the real world things are valuable. When we'll spend more of our time in virtual world things will be valuable. And then when we say things, then it includes everything like land to to vehicles or brands and pet dog. Pet. Animals and things like that. So everything is going to be very big, and we are already seeing very early signs and blockchains enabling that ownership, concept. So this is going to be bigger and bigger.
But Sandeep, just picking up from what Gautam said, maybe going forward we will do concerts in Metaverse. Right now it just seems so crazy and dystopian to a lot of people who may not be, well versed with Web3. How will it work?
So, Nayantara, that is already happening. There are multiple concerts that happen. People go with their avatars in those concerts. Multiple times we have done it in Polygon building in Decentraland itself. And that is where the world is moving. Whoever wants to accept it, he can accept it. He doesn't want to accept, they are more than welcome to do that. But it's happening already. And it's going to become bigger and bigger. I think recently, Gautam, if you remember the name, some big artists also now are releasing their items within the Metaverse. And I can also tell you, Nayantara, that there are going to be some of the Indian Bollywood mainstream movies which are going to not launch their main movie, but let's say the side movie or bloopers or, kind of the side movies, which talks about how the movie got created and all that. All those things will be displayed exclusively on Metaverse. I can tell you right now, this is already happening and you will see it in few months.
So Nayantara, anything which is media or can be, considered digital media, you can imagine an NFT for it. So whether it's music, whether it's videos, it's content, it's articles, it's concert tickets, special VIP passes, anything and everything which is digital and reflective of the media has the potential of becoming an NFT, which then translates to experiences to the people who actually end up owning those NFTs.
And for example, just to explain to our viewers, it seems crazy, but it is happening. Over the weekend, I remember reading this article, I think it was in the Wall Street Journal, which actually wrote about their experience of attending a concert in the Metaverse where they had a Lego man avatar. You log in virtually, you see the concert virtually. And Sandeep, therefore, are you guys also working on things that will make this more community related as well? Because it's considered something you do with friends. You go with your family, friends, and things like that.
Yeah, it is absolutely. See, the whole spirit of this Web3 is basically community-owned products, metaverses, whatever you name it, like applications, whatever. Everything that is being done in Web3 is community-owned. The whole purpose of this revolution is to take out the power or the control that a single set of individuals would have to the community. And most of these things like, metaverses and all that are already formed in the form of DAOs, where the DAO members, whoever is a DAO member, they have to own some NFTs or own some DAO tokens and things like that. And then they become eligible to enter some of these concerts and all that. So definitely it's very, very community centric. And yeah, all the tenets of, being community centric are taken care. Actually, the projects that become popular in this space are the ones who make sure that community is adequately represented everywhere, be it the token economics of their products or the control or the governance of the DAO and things like that.
I've two last questions. Gautam, coming to you for the penultimate one. You tried to touch upon it, I could make out with Sandeep, but I'm just going to ask it flat out. I'm going to ask you, why does a Polygon do better than, let's say, a Solana or a Cardano or these other chains?
Yeah, so the problem is, as Sandeep said, the layer one chains are like monolithic chains, right? Which are like the reality is for future scaling, we need like millions of transactions per second. None of them are at millions of transactions per second. But today, just because Ethereum is clogged and layer two infrastructure is still being built, some of these, layer one chains have got space, right? And they're able to take some market share. And that's obviously resulted in this, massive layer one rally that we've had. But as layer two comes on, Solana and, the other layer one blockchains will not have to compete with Ethereum, which will go, C to C, like Sandeep was telling, but actually will have to compete with the Polygons, ZK technology, with Starkware, with Optimism, with Arbitrum. So actually the layer one competition, the alternate layer one competitions, which are not Ethereum, their competition is with the layer two that's being built on Ethereum, because layer twos are talking about hundreds of thousands transactions per second, because these are all ZK, without going into technicals.
Yeah.
These are all ZKRs which will run in parallel, and sort of the data shards in parallel and all of that. So it results essentially designed for scaling, right? Essentially designed for optimum performance, and keeping the settlement layer still on layer 1, which is Ethereum. So I think that's the contrast, that the future competition is between layer 1 and layer 2 of Ethereum.
Sandeep, what was the most asked question from you in 2021? Was it, should I buy Bitcoin or Ethereum?
Ethereum, always Ethereum. Because, soon the world will know that, how Ethereum is fundamentally in always better than, Bitcoin. But yeah, anybody who builds, you ask anybody who is building anything in the blockchain space, they will tell you that Ethereum is fundamentally much better than Bitcoin. And you comparing Polygon with Solana is still okay, but
I was joking and asking you. That was the biggest question you were asked.
No. I'm saying Cardano is mostly it's an outright scam. So, we should not even compare, Cardano. Solana, and some of the other blockchains are trying to do something good. That's still okay. But not Cardano, please.
Wow, you're hearing it all here on ET now. You're hearing the Polygon co-founder saying Cardano is a scam. Don't even talk about it. What would be a good price for Polygon?
Gautam would be the right person because he's been, involved in the Matic token. I don't understand markets that well. He understands much better than me.
I will not give a target number, but I would say that.
Gautam, what's a good price for the Matic token?
No, I think overall, with Ethereum at $500 billion of market cap, Ethereum scaling technology will be a reasonable percentage of that, and Matic is one of the leading players within that. So people can do their own math, but I would say that I don't think forget the price. I think the most important thing is we've not even touched the potential of what this Web3 world is becoming. We're just getting started. And the best part about working in crypto is that every 2 years we can say we're just getting started. So that's also true of the price.
I was saying that I can't give a price prediction, but I can definitely tell you that the way, and if we keep working like this, the way, our team works, like everybody is so motivated to, make this impact on this Web3 world, that I strongly believe that Polygon deserves to be, and in some time it will be. Nobody will be able to deny it a top 5 position in the world. And I want personally it to be top 3, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Polygon. These 3 should be the biggest projects in this space, or communities in the space. So that's what I can tell you, and that's what we are fighting for. The price depends on a lot of different things, so that I can't comment.
Wow, that's the big goal for Polygon Matic, to be in the top 3 of the world. You're hearing it all right here on the channel. It is, of course, considered to be India's pride and shine when we talk about blockchains and, of course, cryptos. We're completely out of time. So many thanks to both Sandeep and Gautam for taking the time out and joining us here on ET Now. Wish you all and your teams a very happy New Year.
Thanks.
Thanks, Gautam.